Hey guys, it's Jill and welcome back to my booktube channel. This video is going to be a reading vlog and I'm going to be reading the new release, Bride by Hazelwood. I feel like I don't know too much about the plot. I know that there's a vampire and a werewolf. I don't even know who's like the MMC or the FMC, but we have vampire, werewolf, and they're going to like get together. And I've been anticipating this one because I'm a pretty big fan of Hazelwood's other novels, her contemporary romances. So I'm really interested to see how her paranormal romance is and how she kind of switches up the writing style to be like paranormal romance. Before I get into it, this video will contain spoilers from here on out, and I'm going to get this one started now. I'm only on chapter 4, page 63. So far, this is honestly super interesting. So pretty much what's going on is that between the FMC, her name is Misery, and the MMC, his name is Lo, there's an arranged marriage situation, and Lo is a werewolf, Misery is a vampire. Misery's dad kind of arranged, I guess, this whole marriage to bring peace between vampires and werewolves, because the last time there was a marriage between vampires and werewolves, during that wedding, there was an issue, I'd say. So the werewolves kind of just turned on the vampires and killed a bunch of them. So this wedding is kind of to prove a point, I guess, that werewolves and vampires can be together and get along, even though the wedding was like super awkward between both groups. Misery, though, she's kind of special because although she's a vampire, she grew up with humans and practically disguised herself as a human she's 25, so like for 25 years, and she doesn't necessarily fit in with the other vampires. So unfortunately her dad made this deal with the alpha, Lo, and she now has to stay with him for 1 year. I'm not exactly sure why the timeline's 1 year, if they're like going to break up after that, or I don't even know. But Lo, the alpha wolf, he doesn't even really want anything to do with her. He pretty much said to her at the wedding, like, let's just kind of keep to our own spaces and do our own things for this year that we're supposed to be together. And what I just read was super interesting because Misery kept talking about her childhood best friend named Serena and just saying how much she missed Serena and loved her and everything. So it turns out that Serena, who's human, she went missing one day, and it really seemed like she just kind of vanished out of nowhere, and there were no clues or anything to kind of figure out what happened to her. But Misery does find a journal, an agenda, I guess, and there was someone's name in that journal, and of course the name was Lo. His last name is Moreland. And I think that's why she agreed to this whole marriage, because when she was having a conversation with her dad, she was like, I don't want anything to do with your like weird arranged marriage crap. And the dad's like, okay, blah blah blah, like talking, and then he says what the name of the guy's name was, the werewolf, and she's like, what was that name? So he said it again, and then she agreed to it. So I think she's going to be trying to find her best friend, and that's why she just like agreed to this whole thing. And she obviously at this point doesn't care at all about Lo, which makes sense because they literally met on their wedding day. But yeah, so it seems like her main goal here is to try to find her best friend Serena, because she thinks that Lo Moreland, the alpha werewolf guy, I've said a few times now, she thinks he has something to do with her best friend's disappearance with Serena, and so she'll suffer through this year being with the werewolves so she can try to save her friend, or maybe not even save her, but kind of figure out what the heck even happened to her. Hey guys, I haven't updated in a few days and I'm at my parents' house now, but I'm on page, let's see, 143, chapter 11. At the start of each chapter, there's like a few sentences, and sometimes it's the inner monologue of Lo, or sometimes it's also Misery. And even though he hasn't really shown outwardly that he kind of admires Misery, you can tell from these little snippets before the chapters that he's like pretty enthralled with her. But she is not having the best time living with the werewolves Pretty much all of the werewolves other than Lo kind of despise her, but I've really been enjoying this book so far. There was one scene when Lo could kind of tell that she was cold and he put his sweater over top of her, and even though that's literally bare minimum, I thought it was super cute. And Misery, because she's a vampire, she has some kind of special abilities, and one of them I found out recently is that she could kind of mind control, but she's not super good at it yet. Despite that, the werewolves were like freaking out when they discovered she could do that. Also, the whole friend thing of when Misery found out that she saw Lo's name in Serena's agenda type thing, that was addressed way sooner than I thought it would. It was talked about maybe like 20 pages ago. It turns out Serena wasn't writing down Lo's name, but it was actually this little kid's name, and her name is Liliana something Moreland, and coincidentally this little kid and Lo have the same initials, so Misery thought it was about Lo, but it actually wasn't. Now it seems like Misery and Lo are going to be working together to find out why Serena wanted to get more information about Liliana, because this kid kind of has a secret in that they're part werewolf and part human, which doesn't really happen, I guess, in this world, and is kind of like forbidden, I think. I actually don't know whether or not that's even allowed in this world or what, but that is where I ended off, and I'm going to read for a little bit longer and I'll update you guys on my thoughts soon. I'm almost done this book now. I'm on chapter 23, page 325. I'm going to be honest, because I feel like for the past few hundred pages, not much has really happened. There hasn't really been too much advancement, I guess, with the plot and the whole like Serena and Anna issue. Misery and Lo, they are kind of in like, it's not fake dating because they're married, but they kind of have to pretend that they actually like each other when they go to this like other werewolf area. I did think that initially they were good together and I liked them together, but Misery just told Lo that she kind of actually has real feelings for him, and he literally just like shut her down and pushed her away, which I thought was kind of weird because it was pretty obvious based off his inner monologue and just his actions that he also likes her too. So that didn't really make sense. And then her brother, Owen, I think his name is, he randomly tells Misery that he wants to overthrow the father as councilman, and if his father finds out, he's definitely going to get killed for that because that's treason or whatever. So that probably won't end very well for him. But I think I have like 75-ish pages left, so I'm going to finish this one up and then give you guys my final thoughts. I just finished Bride, and I feel like the ending fell a little bit flat for me. In the end, Serena was held captive by, I think it was Misery's dad that was holding her captive, because she was also like half werewolf, half human, and also she was trying to get more background into her dad, I believe, which Misery's dad somehow felt like was a threat between vampires and werewolves, and he thought like the werewolves would somehow overthrow the vampires. Honestly, I was a little bit confused, so I might not have that completely correct. But yeah, so Serena and Anna were both like hybrid werewolf humans. Pretty much her dad got overthrown, and Lo and Serena like attacked him when they were in their werewolf form, and then her brother took over. I think he ended up taking over as councilman and asked Misery if she also wanted to be part of the council, and she actually ended up deciding to go back to Lo and living with him in the werewolf community, and then her and Lo are just together. And also one of Lo's like seconds, I think, he kind of betrayed him. So, you know what, I don't even know what ended up happening to that guy. I think overall I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it, but I felt like it was dragging at some parts in the middle section there, and even maybe a bit at the end as well. I just wasn't like as into it as I was at the start. I felt like the start was very strong and I thought it was really interesting, and I liked getting to know all the characters and everything, but the middle and end were just not as interesting to me, at least. Also, in the end, Misery didn't necessarily have to go back to Lo's werewolf territory because the councilmen were going to kind of get rid of the law that stated she had to stay there for a year, because that was what the original kind of deal was. And then I'm pretty sure at the very end, one of the other werewolves in the pack finds out that his mate is Serena, so that's Misery's best friend. So I feel like there might be another book based off of that relationship. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. I would say that I do recommend this book, but I don't think I was like super obsessed with it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've read Bride, please let me know your thoughts in a comment down below. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in a new video coming soon. Bye.